Hey everyone, and welcome to Anchor Watch, your weekly below deck late night chat where Josh and I, and tonight, Greg is back, take over Adam's channel to talk about Below Deck Med, which is killing it in the ratings, guys. We're going to talk about that and so much more. Let's jump in and get started.
The production value just gets better and better. I mean, I can like hear the bells.
If you lean really close, you could feel the moisture.
Oh Lord, we're off to a great start already. This is
a little
great.
Salty. You can kind of taste
Guys,
it.
welcome Greg back. Welcome Greg back. We are a little naughty yachty up in here, so welcome to Anchor Watch. Definitely hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and welcome. We have so much to talk about and discuss about Anchor Watch, guys. Anchor Watch hit over 1 million views, but it did not. Below Deck Med hit over 1 million views in ratings, which is insane because that is like reserved for more like Below Deck. I know Below Deck Sailing did it a couple times, but they're pulling in an audience.
Yeah, well, also
An audience.
An audience. Speaking of over 1 million, I won the Mega Millions last week too.
Dude, you weren't.
And how much of that Mega Millions did you win?
Well, I know it was over 1 billion, but you only get to take home 600 million if you do the lump sum.
Such a scam.
I have to totally readjust all of my like budgets and stuff like that. But what you gonna do? You know.
Hey, you know. You got to take the, I don't even know what to say.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
So
I take it the check hasn't landed yet.
Well, I have, no, or he wouldn't be here if the check landed. That's for sure.
He would.
But I'd be on a yacht.
For you, Josh and Greg, because the ratings are so good, how does Below Deck Med compare to, like, let's say Sailing? I know it's different last season or just that we just finished, and Below Deck like season 9. How does this compare? Are you into it? Is keeping your attention?
Well, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a lot of fun. I think, we have some problems. We're waiting to see if they get fixed. We were left on a cliffhanger, not to jump to the end already, but I think that
wait.
But not too fast. Slow down. But I think what's appealing about this episode is, like, as opposed to other seasons, I won't name it, other seasons that Jason and I didn't like, where it kind of felt like a whole crew of incompetence, essentially, except for like one shining star. This feels like a bunch of great rock stars with some incompetence. And so it's much more enjoyable to watch because they cut to that and you see the part and you're like, oh, you're frustrated. But then you go back to like, okay, these people are awesome. It's fun to watch good people do their job well. And I got to say, like, the guests have been good. They're like just the right enough. They're just demanding enough or just challenging enough to keep the crew on their toes. But they're also not giving me anxiety or like filling me with hatred, which I know, Jason, you love those guests.
But I love those kind of guests because they really make the crew work for their money. Not only did Below Deck have great ratings this week, and I know ratings don't mean a lot in the streaming world, but they do kind of show who's really watching or who's interested. But Watch What Happens Live this Monday had Z from Below Deck Med and Toomey, our favorite second stew of all time besides Kyle. And they hit like 500,000 views too. It was amazing. And guys, if you haven't seen it too, just really quick, Adam dropped his interview with Chef Dave yesterday, and it is fantastic. He's in the Ukraine right now, working for a World Aid Kitchen. Amazing interview, full of emotions, and he does spill some tea on this season. So check it out. I will put that in the description below.
Please and just if you haven't seen it yet, last week I was there live when he dropped his interview with Kyle, just because you mentioned it. Awesome. That was a great interview, really heartfelt. Kyle, like, you could tell not only is he having fun doing the actual job on the yacht, but like he's just super passionate about, like, he wants to have fun. He wants to entertain people. he seems like a genuinely nice guy. And so the interview with Adam was great because he really opened up and shared a lot about himself. I feel like we got to know him. It wasn't just like, oh, what's it like living on a yacht?
Yeah, right. It's like the basic answer.
We got to hear like his journey and his passions and stuff. So I highly recommend watch both those interviews. And then, Andy Cohen's bringing a lot of Below Deck people on. Surprise, surprise. And I bet his show is getting good ratings too.
It is the only time it gets good. You had Kevin Hart was on last Thursday. The ratings were awful. They had Toomey and Z on Monday from Below Deck Down Under and this season of Below Deck Med, and the ratings were amazing. They're fun. Their energy is fun. They're youthful. They work hard. Also with Kyle, I noticed on Kyle, I don't know if he'll go at me for saying this because we're gonna meet him next month down here in Palm Beach, but he has Chief Steward listed on his Instagram handle now, and I'm just dying. I was telling Adam, wouldn't it be so cool if we had our first gay Chief Stew and it was Kyle, because he's such a performer and he's so, I don't know how to say it. Like, he's fun. His energy is great.
He's good TV. He's good at the job, but he's also good TV, which that is a rarity. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What do you think, Greg?
Happy penis.
Happy
penis.
He provides me with just moments on every single episode where I'm like, I like that guy. I think as a guest, you would have tons of fun just having Kyle on crew. And to answer your earlier question, I get really nervous on the sailing one just because of the size. I love a bigger ship. I'm all about the bigger ship.
Greg, we all love some bigger ships and we love some big tips. Especially here on Anchor Watch, guys. What it is,
but the other one just makes me nervous. It was good.
I feel like
good
the Naughty Yachty is coming back a little bit on this show, so this is great.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I told Adam, I'm like, we're gonna have to tone this down when we take it to your channel. And he's like, no, do it. Do it like you guys do it all the time.
I think it's because I saw Coffee Buzz right out of the gate, and I was like, all right, listen, game on.
We have a great crew here. We have a great. Yeah, it's awesome. I do have to say though, and this was, I think, watching this interior crew, it's something that we didn't get. Like, and I know I'm going to repeat myself over and over again because my hatred for Below Deck Season 9 is just it fills me sometimes. Like my blood boils. I'm like, why did we watch that shit? But besides Chef Rachel, by the way, which we'll talk about too, but it's like the interior crew kind of like, I liked them, but they had to stick up their ass a little bit. And it's so nice to just watch a crew who knows what they're doing. They're fun. We have
flowing.
Like Natalia, this episode, she brings me like a little like dark humor and it's kind of funny. She's kind of a fun person. Natasha,
she's the glasses
Natalia.
One, right?
Yes, that's Natalia.
She's
hard to tell them apart sometimes. Here, hold on.
It is.
Pull a photo of her.
They literally had to, on this episode, one of the scenes, put arrows to the two girls.
I saw
names.
that.
I mean, look how close they look. This is Natasha, the Chief Stew, and then Natalia, the second stew, right? They look
beautiful.
And I will say, this photo of Natalia doesn't actually do justice to her, the shape of her face. This looks a little different. She looks more like Natasha than this photo gives her credit for.
Yeah.
Yes, and actually, she's way more gorgeous than in this photo.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this photo. It's not her.
It's not her.
So wait, Jason, before we go into this episode, Chef Rachel.
Oh my gosh, guys, we have to talk about this. If you're watching this live chat in the replay, please give us your opinions on this. We always go back and check the comments and stuff afterwards and reply. Chef Rachel, as out of nowhere it seemed. Now, Chef Rachel's a friend here of Up and Adam. I love Chef Rachel. We love Chef Rachel. We love her. I love her even more now, maybe. So there was a tweet that came out and she was going after a cast member of another show called Southern Charm, saying these cast members get paid so much, but the highest rated show on Bravo is Below Deck. And she has consistently kind of pushed that message. Like, we are the ones who carry Below Deck in all her interviews.
Bravo.
And she is not, we're the ones who carry Bravo. And she's not wrong, but she's calling out BS right and left. She's sharing email screen grabs and text message, screenshots with everyone and showing us what's happening behind the scenes. I don't know what to think about this. Because I kind of think she's right, but Bravo or NBC, they're trying to kind of like, hey, we don't really appreciate when you go after, another cast member from another show. And then now she's sharing messages saying that, hey, this is Dr. whatever. I'm guessing it's like some kind of therapist or something that I talked to before going on the show. Because it's kind of like mental preparation being on one of these shows. You got to be prepared, right? But I mean, what do we think about this? Because some people love it. Some people are saying she is just like going too far left.
I think she got her statistics on the popularity of the show from watching you. That's just my opinion.
I
mean,
probably not, but
it's always that balance you want to walk. It's there's way that like if you speak the truth, you have nothing to fear. But there's also a time and place to share that truth, or I should say, a way to do it effectively. And right now, I don't know. I guess it depends on what her end goal is. Like, what does she want this to look like
right
a month from now? What does her life, what's her relationship with Bravo? What's her relationship with Below Deck? What does she want that to look like a month from now? If so, is she doing the moves that are going to get her there? I'm a big fan of her. But we also know she is a passionate, fiery woman when she wants to be. So I just don't know. I don't know. Like
I mean, listen, she's put, BravoCon is the big get together, kind of like Comic-Con, but for Bravo people and Bravo fans, is coming up in October. She was slated to be one of the main guests from Below Deck. She has pulled out of that as well. I'm curious. We wish, Chef Rachel all the best. I hope she does an interview, hopefully with Adam. I know a couple of other of our friends have reached out, and I would love to hear the full story on what, what's going on behind the scenes, because she also tweeted that it's not Andy's fault. It's not Bravo's fault. And then she was also hashtagging some like 51 Minds, the production company, so I'm curious to see what is really going on.
It sounds like a breakup of some sort. And she's airing the dirty laundry. She's putting it out there to try and get people on her side, maybe. But I don't know enough about it.
Well, the fans are on her side, so I just hope she's able to
keep them on her side.
I thought she had a drink or two. I don't think so, Donna. I think I saw something in which another cast member from another show was treating her poorly, and she let that out. And from what I saw, and I haven't caught up on all of it, but from what I saw, Chef Rachel then shared producers or someone were saying like, hey, yeah, that's not right, but could you please not share our dirty laundry sort of thing? And so, that's where I go like, well, maybe it needs to get shared. Like, if you're not doing anything about this guy being a jerk, then maybe this is what you deserve sort of thing. But I don't know. I
listen, we hear a lot about, Bravo as a network and NBC as the umbrella network of Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Just you hear horror stories and things that you don't care to hear. You hear great things. I think it's just, if you can work with it and make it something that works for you, yes, it's not for everyone, and you kind of have to play. I mean, when it comes to these housewives, they're following scripts and storylines and all kinds of social media games. And it's exhausting. So I'm glad we have Below Deck. I'm sad if we don't see Chef Rachel again on our screens. That would suck.
Well, and we know a lot of cast members watch this show. So, solidarity, guys. And stick up for your own. And, yeah.
All right, well, let's dive right in, because we got to start where this episode ends, and that is with Raygun speaking to Captain Sandy. In my opinion, because not so much happened this episode, not so much drama, not so much crazy shit happened. But the one thing we really have to focus on, I think, is Raygun, and for so many reasons. But I feel like since we've started this season 4 episodes ago, because we're covering episode 4, I know episode 5 is out. It's very tempting to go watch right now, but every time I get an episode ahead, I get lost in the recaps.
Yes. But, I purposely last night Natalie and I were watching. The episode ends with "to be continued," and Natalie turned to me and said, "Can we watch the next one?" And I said, "Absolutely, we cannot.
Do not do that to us,
because it's going to totally flavor what I'm going to say about this episode." And we the viewers deserve to have us talk about this episode and what happened on this episode. So guys,
Exactly.
I literally, a lot of you are probably screaming at the screen right now, oh my God, she pulls out a knife and stabs her or something, but I literally don't know what's about to happen. So
now I have
like
heard rumors, but I'll save that for the end. But
yeah.
The whole episode, they're leading us down a path, and it feels like they're just foreshadowing. And yeah, whatever it is, it's not good. We know that. But
well,
I guess it's going to come down to
path. Let's talk about the path, Greg. So you know, it kind of starts with early on, just kind of trying to get her crew started for the day, and like at the most crucial, like last hour that they need to get ready or something. She's down there, boom, 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 boom. Just eat a sandwich.
It's always something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always something.
She's either sitting or eating a sandwich
or smoking.
And you think like, oh, well, that's just the editing. Like, oh, they're just always catching her. No, if you do that stuff enough, it's not hard to edit that in. Like that is what was captured.
And if you do a lot of it, that's all that's going to be edited in. But I have a question for you guys. Do you think that Sandy has, we're 4 episodes in here, has given her ample time and ample opportunity to kind of prove herself as a bosun?
Yes.
When you do 12 charters or something, like a charter or 2 is kind of ample time, right? I mean, you got to go
30% of the season.
Yeah.
And she's also like given her like tidbits of leadership advice throughout the process. So it's not like she's just leaving her out to dry or saying like, hey, figure out what I want. She's telling her directly what she wants. She wants the water toys in the water so that people can play on the water toys. That's a very clear direction.
She wants a schedule. Yeah, when that doesn't happen, when the captain is asking you something and it doesn't happen, and it's kind of being like a repeat offender of everything she's asking you. I mean, repeat offender. Get that?
Lame.
I see what you did.
Anyways,
there.
So lame.
Hey, but so with this, like you said, her Captain Sandy giving her tips and stuff to be a good leader. Again, I threw this out there an episode ago. I threw it out there 2 episodes ago. I do want to say and I would love, I'm watching the chat right here. Guys, do you think Captain Sandy has been doing better this season about some of the things that people used to complain about, like micromanaging and stuff? I really think if somebody was watching this season for the first time and this was their first interaction with Captain Sandy, I think she comes off really well this season. But I'm curious.
This is my first interaction. That's
right. You're a Sandy virgin.
Greg, what do you think of Captain
Sandy? I'm a Sandy virgin. The first time I saw Below Deck was season 9, and I loved it. So the fact that that's like your bar down here, and it just keeps getting better and better. It's great. But with Captain Sandy, I feel like at first I was kind of like, oh man, is this like a power trip situation? Like what's the dynamic? I was trying to kind of feel everything out. I think she's fantastic. I think she does a good job of clearly stating exactly what she wants. She doesn't like sugarcoat things. I think if we're talking about like previous captains, Captain Glenn, I think is my favorite. I think he's just like an even keel sort of guy.
Right after Captain Sean, right?
Captain Sean, we just keep
Captain
up
Glenn.
here.
I mean, always.
Yeah. And then what's the other guy's name? I always forget it.
There is Captain Lee from Below Deck, and you have Captain Jason if you've seen Below Deck Down Under, which is now playing. Now I think you'll love that's a fresher take on Below Deck.
Captain Lee is like this like kind of piratey, angry, like snarky, like you don't always know what you're gonna get from him. I mean, you know you're gonna get craziness or like directness from him. But I think with Sandy it's very clear and it's not like veiled or anything like that. So I give her full credit.
Greg, she has been a somewhat divisive captain amongst fans of the show. And so it's interesting. People be like, I'm not going to watch this season because of Captain Sandy.
Just because of Sandy.
I've never felt like that about her. But some people are very passionate about not liking her.
I'm a Captain Sandy fandy. Here's the thing. One thing that I noticed when she was having that one-on-one conversation with her, which she's had a few, it's almost like she's talking to herself. Like they look very similar. And I think that she's invested in Raygun and she's just not feeling like she's living up to the standard that she hoped for. I mean, which is obvious just based on everything that we've seen.
I mean, I want to ask too, what you guys feel, just on this. Where does this fall? Like, was there a resume sent in? Because right after one of the conversations that Raygun and Sandy had, Raygun went back to her team. She called for a meeting. She said, we need to be more organized. We have to do this. Basically the same thing that's been said this whole time.
Right.
And then she said, and then, we can kind of ask Storm, because he has more experience on super yachts than I do. And it's like, okay, wait, so what did it say on your resume that got you hired there? Is it someone else's fault that she's in that position? Or
if you remember, Jason, I think it was last episode when it was one of the times she was being bawled out by Captain Sandy.
Yeah.
It was during one of her weekly reprimands. She was talking to well, a bit creepy with the twins. Don't know what that's about. But
what is that about?
Take the photo off. I'm going to talk for a second about this. I was saying that when she got reprimanded, she even said, and Captain Sandy said, yeah, but super yachts are different. So it was like, it was apparent she had done a lot of jobs on a lot of yachts, but she had not worked at a super yacht.
Yes.
Like, I think they already kind of revealed that.
Yeah.
I think and this is something too I mentioned last episode. I think Captain Sandy is kind of like, you're ruining it. Like, I was one of the only female captains out here. Here I am elevating you.
Yes.
Like, you've done captaining, you've done every role. Here I am trying to make you bosun on a super yacht, and you're blowing it. Like, I wanted this to work. I wanted this to be good for you. I wanted to bring another woman up. Yeah, totally. That Greg, like her talking to herself. And so it does seem like it's not just disappointment and not doing the job. I kind of feel like she's like, you're letting me down on a whole bunch of levels. You know what I mean? Not
the
just
royal
consistently see Sandy push, especially someone who like Malia, who was also a female bosun. Like, I want to see people on the deck. I want to see people on the bridge. I want to see more female captains. I'm pushing for you. I'm giving you all the opportunities. I'm giving you all the information. I'm trying to give you hints like this needs to be organized. Yep. But when it comes to trust, especially when docking, and we've already seen in the first episode that Sandy is like, this is a small marina. This is a small dock that buoys are very close. A huge boat really to go in this tiny.
Yeah,
you gotta ease it.
Might have to butter up the sides.
Butter up the sides because you might hit them. But I thought it was funny too because Raygun was talking about how she's been a captain of smaller boats. Docking is where she stands out. This is what's going to show Captain Sandy, hey, this is where I'm going to shine, and I can prove to her that I'm worth being here. And then, of course, all of a sudden we get the miscalculation.
We're hitting a dolphin.
I will say, I think she's kind of cute in the fact that she thinks that 3 meters is actually 3 feet, or vice versa. I think that could work in some people's favor.
I think anybody who's held, anything 12 inches or under could have looked at that.
I hope you're not referring to me, Josh.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys were in the circus together.
We shared dressing room.
That's good.
We shared a dressing room. So it's easy to see that is not 3 meters.
Yeah.
I mean, the boat was practically touching, and to the point where I think it was Storm who looked over and said, "That is not 3 meters. That is not 3 meters. We're gonna hit." Like he's what? Telling her, "Call, say something." Yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous, isn't it? What's it say when the bosun, if you walked up to just strangers and said, "Who here's the junior team member?" I bet you they would point to the bosun. She seems the least experienced of the whole crew, and yet she's the leader. What does that say?
And with all of her smoking and her breaks and her eating, I still feel for her a little bit because I think she's really trying to, in her mind, she's trying to do enough. And it's just really not enough, especially when mistakes like that happen. And speaking of mistakes, guys, I noticed, by the way, this was my favorite moment last night, by the way. Just drunk guests telling Captain Sandy that she hit the buoy.
You hit it.
He was great.
Hey, Captain, you hit the buoy. We got it. Thank you so much. We're a professional team. except for Raygun, who miscalculated that. I'm so sorry. But what I noticed is where it hit on the boat and where the previews at the beginning of the season had it hitting the boat were at 2 different places. So I'm wondering if the boat hits again, or this is going to be kind of a consistent thing, because it's
interesting. Because
it's
then
if
what we think is going to happen at the end of this episode, at the beginning of the next, does, then Sandy's track record is not as good as it was at the beginning of this expedition.
100%. I do have to say, I was looking for a photo, guys. When we were going to, this is how I feel about Below Deck as Adam feels about Housewives, right? We were going to lunch on Sunday and I slammed on the brakes. I made a U-turn and I was like, oh my God, it's home. And Adam's like, we don't live over here anymore. What are you talking about? I'm like, no, it's home. You
saw it?
It's literally, yes. So we used to live right next to the Super Yacht Marina, and we were going to lunch downtown in Palm Beach. And we were driving by and I just saw home on the side of a big boat. And I was like, this looks so familiar. I don't know.
Did you post that on Instagram?
Yes, we posted on Instagram. I was so excited. It looks like it was being kind of cleaned up for, the next season because it got maybe too much damage hitting all the buoys in Malta. I don't know.
It was, but I was kind of going through fast and I just didn't realize. I just thought it was like, that's cool that you saw it. That's like seeing a celebrity.
It was weirder though that Greg screen grabbed it and posted it like he saw it himself.
I don't think that's real.
I mean, he did see it through my, I don't know.
Through your lens.
I was giving the gift to Greg because I know Greg wanted that gift. Guys, we have over 110 in the room. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps us out tremendously. We got to get through. What do you think? I want to stay on Raygun and then we'll go through kind of the rest of what happened.
So there is Raygun one moment.
Kind of like the
Jason. This is a moment that I think everyone thought it's happening. It's happening. Yes. Captain Sandy calls Storm in, who right now is my front runner for Bosun. If we had to pick someone, it's obvious that he's the one.
He's the one with ideas. He's the one that's kind of course correcting stuff she says. He takes initiative.
We see him step up, and also Z, who I really love too, was pretty green last season when it came to stuff, and he was learning. I think the leadership that Storm kind of puts out there is kind of like, yeah, maybe you should be in this position.
Well, and I think Z, it's his buddy. He loves him. So he would follow him and help him and support him. He also admits Storm is more experienced, so
yeah.
Right.
And oh boy, I can't think of his name right now. Our buddy with the bun.
That's my name.
Jason.
Dave?
Oh yeah. Jason Buns.
Hey girl.
Jason also is admitting a lot hey, I've not done this super yachts and stuff. I captain smaller boats and stuff. So he admits he's learning and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely Storm. But the moment I think where we all thought it's happening, she calls Storm in and says, hey, I want to talk to you, up in the deck. And so he comes and then she asks some questions about the docking situation.
Right.
He's like, yeah,
which she probably has to legally.
Probably for insurance reasons and stuff too, possibly. But it was interesting because she was like, okay, thanks. And then she did say, compliment him, hey, I like the way you take initiative out there and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. She kind of it felt like foreshadowing. I know a lot of you guys might be screaming at the screen right now saying it ends up being Storm, but I will find out probably tomorrow because my wife and I don't want to wait a whole week to watch the episode. So
I do. I mean, I have to say, I agree. I really think that Storm will be in that position because when Captain Sandy, who is, kind of putting her feelers out a little bit, hey, do you have any bosuns available? It came back, there are no bosuns available.
Which is a thing. This photo. That's a talent shortage. So that could have been the reason in the first place why we have Raygun in the. I keep calling her Raygun. It's Raygun.
Ooh, that is a great Greg. That's a great. I'm going to call that a great Greg opinion.
Great.
But I mean, I have to agree with this, Stacey Aronson. But Jason is underused, in my opinion. I have to agree. I think he's looking for direction and leadership that he's not getting. And I do agree.
He was talking about being captain inflating and deflating. He's like, come on.
But also, he's used to being in charge of smaller boats like the tender, and to be able to take that out and take the guests out, he was offering a solution.
I think if he got a leader like Storm, he would be having the experience he was hoping to have, which is, I want to learn super yachts from an experienced bosun. and then because he knows a lot obviously about both and stuff. He doesn't know some of the like he didn't know to plug in those things and stuff, kind of things that only a super yacht's going to be carrying. He doesn't know those kind of things. That's what he wants to learn, and he's not getting that learning experience.
So that's a detriment to all of them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think one of not only the docking, but after the docking, when Captain Sandy heard Raygun over the radio say, when Jason asks, "Hey, Raygun, what do you need me to do while the guests are out or whatever?" And she's like, "Yeah, just do whatever you feel like doing, really." That's probably not an answer that the captain wants to hear when you just, gave her the wrong wrong distance from the buoy. That's just not what anyone wants to hear. I'm like, what is going on? What is happening?
Captain Sandy kind of commented too. She like spoke to the radio, but not like didn't call them. But just said like, "That's your job, Bosun," or something like that. And it was just like, yikes.
What did she say?
It was something like that. Do you have it written down? Sometimes Greg will write down these comments.
I know. The only comment that's still sticking out is, "Are we happiness?"
Well, listen, I think the biggest other drama, the guests were amazing. The food has been amazing. I mean, from Chef Marcos on sailing, from Chef Rachel on below deck, we're consistently getting these amazing chefs who are almost outdoing one another. Chef Dave is freaking amazing. He's fantastic. The food he's putting out. Now, the drama that's happening inside the cabins and stuff, not so much. And I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, this is such a big rumor that Raygun might not be the only one on the chopping block. So I'm wondering who the other person would be. And I'm just thinking,
did you really have a photo of the
yeah, and it is from
ready for this?
Oh yeah, 100%. This was from Twitter. Someone posted this on Twitter saying like, "What's up for Raygun?" This is actually from Motoring at Home, I believe. But who is on the chopping block here? Because now you have your chief stew, and your chef, who are the two most important people on the boat besides the captain, and of course the engineers and the bosun. Well, you know what I mean, for the guest experience.
I got a big opinion about this one.
Ooh. Okay, what's your big opinion? It better be big.
It's thick. It's thick.
It's sizable. Okay.
Thick opinion.
It's gonna be a little long here, so buckle up. No, so my wife and I were kind of laughing because it's kind of this Romeo and Juliet kind of ultra dramatic. I want to talk to you. Oh, I'm afraid it's like I'm on eggshells around you. I don't know what. And all it is they agreed coming on, according to Chef Dave, like, "Hey, we agreed for the first week, we're not going to say much. Then we'll kind of let people know after the first week." Now she's kind of reneging on the deal and being like, "I don't want to tell people, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, you know what? Nobody really cares at the end of the day. Like, it seems so narcissistic on her part. Like, people are going to talk about me cheating and stuff. Don't mention you were with another guy before him. Just mention
it's not like you haven't worked on the only person you've ever worked with before is the guy that you were doing on the other ship.
The rest of the crew is only going to know the story that you tell them. Say, we met on the boat, we fell in love, we're dating, we're having fun, it's so fresh and new, and move on. Everyone will care for half a second, maybe a full second. People really do not care as much as you think.
How many? It's very incestuous, these yachts, right? So how many like cabin crew hookups, friends, boyfriends, not boyfriends, and girlfriends anymore? How many? How much of that has happened before on yachts?
Sailing yacht, Gary below deck. Every woman on the boat, I think.
It's more
sailing
than
yacht,
normal.
Gary went through every single. I mean, I think he was even considering Colin at one point.
He was. He tried.
It's interesting, but I don't know.
Out of the bushes. I'm not over my dead body. No.
I'm a Colin fan. What can I say? I do have to say though, like, where is this going to end? Because, she takes herself out of the situation by going to sleep in the guest cabin when, she feels uncomfortable, especially after that episode when they came back the other night, when he went after Jason a little bit. Whose fault is this? Is she going to give him the cold shoulder because she doesn't want to get judged, or is he going to be able to survive the rest of the charter season with this on his head? Because that's a lot. When you really like someone, right? It's
both their faults. she's applying too much importance to herself, and he's being a baby. Like they're both just being stupid.
And she's playing mental games with him, and he's just like this confused guy that has one gear plus cooking, and it's just spinning him in circles. You know what I mean? Like he's
but also
literally
it's like
autonomously
sleep,
like
dude.
making stuff. That's the thing. Like, come on. Like, but you can tell he just like cares for her. It's not just like he wants to hook up. Like he genuinely cares for this woman.
Oh,
and
100%.
She's like
he was laying
playing,
over the
like,
bed trying to
hard to
tuck
get.
her in at one point, and I was like,
I
"Can you just
remember-
like let her go to sleep if she
Yeah.
is like if she can't move? You don't need to bend over." And I'm not talking shit, Chef Dave. We love you, but you know, like when you really like someone, you want to like kind of show compassion, put your best foot
I
forward.
remember
It's
being
just a little
that
awkward, right?
emotional. I remember being that emotional when I was in high school. And then finally
Right.
my teacher was like, "You need to just go to sleep." Roll over, Josh.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
look at Raygun. She's had it.
She's over it, you know, she's over this. But I do have to say, you know, Chef Dave, the interior team is saving everything that is going wrong on the deck. They are the reason they are getting tipped. And we saw it this episode when our favorite people, I mean, this was a fun group of charter guests, I thought.
They were.
When they left, the only little complaint they had was like, we don't want to be waiting. And I don't want to be waiting if I'm chartering a yacht. I don't want to wait 2 seconds to get in the water. I don't want to.
Comes back to Raygun.
And that comes back to Raygun. And, you know.
What is Emily from? She's from something, right?
I said this before. No, I think I've seen her somewhere else. She's Emily Butler. I know she's a real estate agent in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Yeah.
But I don't know where we've seen her.
I think she looks like a celebrity or like reminds everyone.
That it is.
Yeah, I don't think
she seems cool. Like fun.
Very sure of herself too. That would be a nerve-wracking moment to give that tip and kind of go, "Hey, you know, you guys, I would have been like, here's the tip. Next time."
You know what though? It's the cameras, right? Like she knows she has to do something as the charter guest.
Yeah.
Sandy's ready for it. Like she's so well versed in her cameras, and of course, being on Below Deck for 7 seasons now. She's like, "Thank you for that. Like I understand. I get it. You know, it's all cameras."
And she has a level of professionalism where she just, you know, you accept it and say thank you and then deal with your feelings later.
I mean, this is true.
But yeah, I thought these guests were like the perfect level where they were like, they got some drinks in them. They had a little fun.
They had
just
expectations.
Borderline crazy, but not obnoxious.
Yeah.
They were cool. They were fun with the crew. I like when guests are fun with the crew. Because then you 100%. Get more out of the crew. Like the crew wants to have fun with you, and then I don't know, it's a better vibe to be on the boat with a bunch of people who are having fun. And so, yeah, I thought they were really great guests.
Absolutely.
That's how it'll be when we go on a cruise. Take our guests with us.
I would love to be on. I wonder too, because what is this 2.5 episodes we've gotten with them? No, because we had the second episode. Okay, now they're gone. They've left. I noticed though it said like, and I don't know if it was like a preview for next week or it was part of this episode that it's like 43 hours till charter. I'm like, do we have that long till the next charter? How is this next episode going to go?
I didn't see that. But
good
43 hours. It could be too. It might work out just.
That's a day off.
When they're putting these together. Well, not only that, but like it might be that the guests could have. Flights are getting messed up and stuff like that. That's kind of the world we're in right now, you know.
Yeah,
and the weather was poor.
The weather was bad. You know, there's one thing about Sandy I have to give her. The way she kind of, I know this is editing too, but the way she kind of like told the guests, she's like, "You see that? Yeah." So, and they were like, "Oh, so we have to go back." It's like, yeah, it's like talking to children. It's like, you see that cloud right there? It's going to rain and the swells are going to get really bad and we have to go. But I think they enjoyed themselves even that day they had, you know, in the marinas. So I think it was fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of disappointing when you charter a boat to go out and do boat things and then you're basically in a floating hotel once they bring you back.
Right. And you're like literally like before you got on the charter, you were staying at the hotel that at the marina that the boat is at, and you move just over to the boat, and you're like, this kind of sucks.
And that's when it comes down to the staff. So, I mean, to your point earlier, that's where Dave and the rest of the crew really
Tess has a good
experience up.
Tess has a good guest moment there. I did love when the one girl thought Kyle was hitting on her.
Wait, that was really funny. Where did she say that? Yes.
Yeah, there we go. That was a really funny moment on the show. And Kyle was like, I'm gay as hell, baby. Or whatever he said. Like, that was a really funny moment.
Funny. Guys, it's a great crew. It's a great season so far. I think it's going to be, I mean, we're episode 4 and we already have like drama and relationship drama within the crew. We already have our potential first crew member leaving, which might be one of 2. I have no idea. Just what I've heard. We shall see. What are you guys looking forward to in the next episode?
Well, the conversation.
Continue to find out what the hell is happening.
I mean, we ended the episode where we started. You know, with Raygun in the bridge talking to Sandy again. What the hell is going to happen?
Yeah, Greg,
let's hear your possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, possibilities. It could be, hey, slap on the hand. Here's your last chance. Same position. She could get offered a demotion and then promote someone else, or she could just be called out, fired, or there's a stabbing, like Josh was saying.
Yeah,
that you, Jason?
Probably the stabbing.
But that's how we do it on the seas.
Walk the plank.
Walk the plank, girl. Straight onto the dock.
Yeah. Or it could be, right onto the dock. She jumps off. Oh, it's the ground. Oh, it broke my arm. No. Or the other thing, it could be just like she calls her in and she goes, what do you think? Oh, what's this?
So this was posted last week on Twitter, and this was a spoiler alert that said Raygun is out, and down there we have Courtney, who was a deckhand last season, I believe. Who actually was kind of interested and invested in Z. So that should be interesting to see. But apparently Raygun does get the outs. I'm not sure. I really want to go push play on that next episode. And I hate that Peacock and Bravo is doing that to us right now. Where like, you can watch it.
Yeah.
So it looks like we might get another deckhand.
Can we talk about Natalia there for a second?
From this really quick, there's no Bosun listed here.
That's true.
So yeah, Natalia. What about Natalia?
She just looks like some sort of scientist that like in like a fantasy book. Like, you know what I
mean? Like the hot scientist in the movies always where they're like, oh, you know she's nerdy because she's wearing glasses.
And her hair's pulled up.
She would have never thought of herself as beautiful until she took off the glasses and looked in the mirror and she's like, oh, I'm a celebrity.
Pulls out her hair and just does one of these.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She's gorgeous now.
Yeah. Oh,
it's crazy.
How did we
Jennifer
not see
Lopez.
it?
Who would have guessed that you would?
Who do you think? I mean, who do you think is going to become Bosun? Or do you think that's going to happen?
Storm.
It has to be Storm.
It has to be Storm, or let's get wacky. Throw Kyle in there.
That would be rad.
Just let Kyle be the Bosun and
like organization.
He would definitely be able to manage it. I don't know if he would do anything out there. He'd probably be, can you just do that? Make sure it's out. You know what I mean? I think he can handle 2 jobs at the same time. And I think he'd be fabulous at it. 100%.
Zero knowledge, just all bravado.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to take a guess on what's going to happen because I asked in the poll earlier, do you see this relationship between Dave and Natasha? And Dave did spill some tea on that. You have to check out the interview that Adam did and dropped yesterday. Do you think it will last?
I kind of want you to say, don't. I'll go watch the interview.
Watch the interview. If you haven't seen it already, Chef Dave kind of spills on what's coming up in the season and where the relationship with Natasha and him stand now. Interesting.
Wow.
Chef Dave for the win. Chef Dave is doing some amazing work in the Ukraine right now. Again, working for the World Aid Kitchen. Helping make meals, and I think the day of the interview there was even some air sirens going off and stuff for a potential not good stuff happening over there. So that's crazy because when we were talking to him about doing the interview and he's like, hey, I'm in the Ukraine, I'm like, what the hell, really? Like he just jumped on it.
Wow.
But this guy is an adventurer, right? He's climbed Everest. He's about to do it again. He wants to set a record for doing the highest, I think, meal on Everest or something like that. Guys, check out the interview. It is so good. And if you haven't checked out the interview with Kyle, it's amazing. We have a good cast for Below Deck season 7. -1 +1. We'll see next episode.
Elaine, he had me at Everest. I could see them doing a show on that.
That would be a great show.
Although,
crazy.
From what I hear, it's kind of a long line of tourists now. You won't get the shots.
It's just like, yeah.
It's not 2 dudes in a Sherpa. It's like 50 people lined up for their chance to go through that spot kind of thing. It's not as romantic as it used to be.
And guys, in the chat, I know you can't click it from here, but you can click it in the chat. Annika dropped where you can find the interview. It should be interesting.
Thank you, Annika.
Hey, we're doing well when we're getting spammed now by robots. So
sorry, that was my other account.
Love chat. Adult love chat. I think next episode is going to be pretty killer, so I'm excited. Guys.
Great. Well, Greg was sharing his profile on my wife doesn't know we're in an open relationship.com.
Anyway, just throwing it out there.
Only through there, please. Only through there.
No,
Tess says we've gotten into After Dark. That porn bots are coming into the chat. Listen, we are I think we're the only, I don't know who goes on at 11 p.m. I know Adam doesn't have any shows that go on 11 p.m.
I think
EST.
Us and like 2 guys out of different prisons, I think.
Talking about Below Deck.
Only thing live tonight. And then like some guy playing trance music. You know what I mean? I think those are your choices at this time of night. So
hey, at least we're here to entertain each other. I know this episode was kind of like what would you give this episode compared to like the rest? Because I'm going to give it like
it was a build up.
6.
It was just a big build up.
Yeah, this is a
build up for storyline.
Slowly, just working it.
Wait until the end, and then we weren't rewarded.
Well, I've appreciated having you guys here. This Naughty Yachty crowd is.
This is fun.
This is fun. Tess says, "Greg, delete your search history." So you probably do
is that the trick? Okay.
Yeah. A 7. All right. 6.8 says Jamila. I mean, listen, I'm kind of at a 6 because the first couple episodes were really entertaining. I mean, this was beyond entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's just I know we're building for something to come. I know there's gonna be a lot of drama still to come this season. I'm at
a 3 meters.
Yeah, and that unfortunately
a Raygun 3 meters or
a Raygun 3 meters. Yeah.
Yeah, so 6 inches. So 6 inches.
Okay, so like 6 inches. All right,
like
that's nice. So you're coming in average here, Greg.
Touching the dolphin. That's what they're called, right? Dolphins.
Yeah, I had to look it up because I was like the animal dolphin.
Is
and
it spelled the same?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Isn't that weird?
Last time I googled dolphins and stuff, weird stuff came up.
Yeah, you do a weird website.
Good Lord. Apparently, Raygun got the same information because she was trying to touch it with the yacht. But, I mean, good Lord.
Just
good Lord.
It. Just gave a little kiss.
All right, guys. We'll leave it there. If you guys are coming through for the... I can't even talk right now. We're so late. If you guys are coming through on the replay crew, leave your comments below. Let us know what you thought about this episode. And let us know who the 2 people you think are on the chopping block in this season of Below Deck Med.
I hope it's
Final
not
thoughts, Josh? I don't know what it's going to be, but I just see stuff happening. If your chief stew and your chef aren't able to kind of mend fences here, that could cause a lot of problems for Sandy, and I don't see her putting up with it.
If your chef is getting 2 hours a night sleep for 14 sustained days, that ain't going to be good either.
I mean, listen, he can kill that whatever. What was he making? That white chocolate ginger lime something cake. Did you see that?
I mean,
I actually wrote down the ingredients.
Just one more thing about him real quick. The thing about his cooking is he makes it look effortless. I love Chef Marcos, but he also kind of puts on a little bit of a show, and he's sweating and he's showing how hard he's working. And Chef Dave just kind of puts it out there, and then you're like, holy crap, he just painted the Mona Lisa. Like he's just very
And his food looks good, but it's not like extraordinarily like out there. Like there's some of the stuff that Marcos does that I want to try it just because it looks so bizarre. Whereas Dave, I feel like you look at it and you're like, oh, I know what I'm going to get. It looks great. I want it. Marcos is kind of like, is that hair? Like, should this be on fire? Like what's going on over here? You know,
if Chef Rachel, Chef Marcos, or Chef Dave someone's going to cater your birthday, who would you pick?
That's God. Live chat, please come in here.
Yeah.
Boyardee is not on the list, just so you know. I know who I would pick.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Give me like 10 seconds here. Okay.
Rachel, Marcos, Dave.
Who would you pick to cater your birthday?
I kind of want to do like a.
Don't give this guy for the appetizer and her for dessert.
Like
no.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun too. Just one chef for your birthday. If they had to cater your birthday, and it could be Chef Rachel, Chef Marcos, or Chef Dave.
I'd go Dave.
Wow.
Let's see what people are saying. I'm seeing a lot of Marcos.
I'm seeing a lot of
Rachel. Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, well, we wouldn't know when we pick Ryan because it'd just be a downer.
I'd want Rachel to like present it and to come talk to us because she's hilarious.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Greg. I'm going to say Chef Rachel because I think it would just be a good time. You know,
but
like as much as you want to enjoy the food, you want to have a good time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
how big is my party? How big is my birthday party?
It's really big. 6 inches, 7.
6 inches. Oh, people. Average, about the average amount of people that would be at your table.
3 dolphin tipped meters.
3 dolphin tipped. Here's according to Raygun, 3 meters.
Well, the correct answer is Chef Dave, just so you guys know.
Okay. So
dang it. I failed.
Yeah, it was. Look, you're picking from 3 awesome. If any of them did your birthday, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Chef Dave has opened and owned a restaurant before in the south of France, as he said in the first episode of Below Deck. I don't know if Adam asked him that question, if he still runs that or owns that.
No.
Chef Marcos.
He said, like, when he talked about Jason, he kind of also said, and running a restaurant's really hard. Like, basically, like, it's not here anymore, sort of thing.
Got it. Yeah. And then Chef Marcos now owns the restaurant in Marlou in downtown Los Angeles, which is amazing. We just had one of our friends and collaborators go and said it was fantastic.
I want to go there.
Yeah. But I wonder what Chef Rachel's place would look like.
Something on the beach, I feel like. Open air.
Open air, some karaoke. Yeah, I think
that's
great.
Right. Yeah. You weren't even joking. That was.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lydia. Yeah, it did close in 2020.
Oh,
interesting. Good
COVID.
To know. Good to know. COVID. Ruiner of everything. Of everything. All right, guys. Well, I guess
total downer on the end there.
Yeah. I mean, like now I just want to go to bed and like cry.
This is so much fun. The fact that you guys let me back on here is fantastic. I have so much fun hanging out with you guys. It's such a great idea just to hang out with friends on a weekly cadence. I should really do more of it.
Yeah, I hope to find some more friends. That's going to be one of my goals for this year.
I was speaking to Jason.
Oh,
you're welcome, Greg. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Guys, thank you so much. Leave your opinions in the comments below. We will check them and let us know what you're looking forward to next week. I think we might have a surprise next week too at the beginning of the show. So we'll keep everyone updated on that. Have a good night. All our naughty yachties, big tip buoys. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hit the like button for us.
Hit that like button. It's the biggest tip. It's the biggest tip you can give us.
Yes.
So you guys are our guests. You're leaving the ship right now. If you want to tip us, hit that like button. Please give us the tip.
20K of tips.
Just 20K of likes. All right, guys.
20K of likes.
500 views, 20K likes.
Give us 500 more views.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.
See ya.